Welcome to Creativerse, your home of innovation, creation, and inspiration. This is the Creative Practical series of the Maya course. So we're going to be designing this in Maya. The reference image is in the description below, the link to download it, or somewhere in the comment section. So be sure to check that out. So let's dive straight into the course. So when you load up Maya, you have something like this. So you just go to your file, new scene. Give it a while. Yes, new scene, and your workspace should look like mine. I'm using the Maya Classic. So now for the tower, we're going to be using meters. So I will double click here, move on to my settings, change it to meters, click save, and I'll just zoom that in and I'm good to go. So I'll hit my spacebar. I'll come to my front view. I would love to get my, of course you should zoom in so that, because you've changed the unit already. I'd love to get my reference image, so move to view, image plane, import image, desktop, Maya, then I'm using the thumb 3, open. It's going to be quite small like this, so hit my R and scale that up a bit. I love it to be big, quite big. So what we're going to do is that the size of this will be dependent on, let's say, the size of my of the base of the tower or the tomb. So what I will do is I'll create a cylinder first. Try to follow along with me. I'll create a cylinder like so, any size, but since it's in meters, right? So with my poly cylinder, what I want to do is that I want my radius to be 8, and then my height to be, let's say, 0.18. I think this is the most important thing you have to do. Make sure your subdivision is 20. You may want to increase that if you want, but I think I'm good to go with this. Subdivision height, I think I'm good. I think it's cool like this, and we'll start off with this. So I would say you should make sure you get this working. Okay, so once we're done with this, we'll move on to our top viewports. Of course, this is behind, right? This is behind. So what I will do is we'll come to my viewport here, move this over to the side. Yeah, move this to the middle. Can drag this up here, back to the front view. So what I want to do is, first and foremost, I'll take this up like so, make sure it's on the grid, and the next thing I will do, Alt B, so that we could, I would love the length of this reference image to be this width. So we'll hit this, hit my R, scale that in, it's not be totally exact. W, move that into place, repeat that again, so W, move that. It must not be exact, but I just need something close. So yeah, this is good enough. This is good enough. So just move this to, hit my W, move it to be on the plane. Like so, move this to up there. Back to my perspective view, I'm going to be having something like this. I'm good to go. So when you start up, you'll be having issues like this. Alright, sorry for that glitch. So when such happens, it's because your Maya might be malfunctioning, so you could just put it on and off. So I would continue. Now, you're going to be having this, as you can see here. If you look at this software now, we're having these lines moving up and down. It's not an issue. So just click this here, hold your control, click this, and click this, and hit H to hide them. Then your scene will be this clean and clear. So let's move on. So I don't need my outline anymore. Put that off. Yeah, I'm having this right now. So looking at this, we have about so many bases here. So I'm going to do about, let's say, 8. So I will switch to my two-way view. Okay, I will keep this here. I will keep my top view here. Zoom that in a bit. For my top view, I will want it to be in outline mode. Okay, you're going to see why soon. So W, hold my shift. I'll zoom in a bit. Hold my shift. Push that up. Then come here. I'm moving it up here, then resizing it in this viewport. W, push that up. Resize a bit here. Just move it a bit there. W, push that up. R, resize. Like so. W, push that up. R, like so. Just in case you're confused, now let's switch back to the four-way view. Now you're going to be seeing in this viewport, you will hit my 6 or 5, so to say. Now you see what I'm building now, right? So let's move back to the two-way view, and take this back to the top view. Make sure it's on this. W, push that down a bit. Hold my shift, I'm duplicating. Come here. Alright, hit R, and depending on how many I want about, okay, yes, W, beat up again. R, do something there. W again, shift it up a bit. R. Okay, sometimes maybe finally you can do as many that you want. R, I think I'm good with this in essence. So let's see it in the perspective of viewport. Okay, this is what we have now. I'll hit my 5, and yeah. So I'll just manage this for now. Yeah, so let's see. Back to our four-way view. Hit this, zoom in. So this is what I have presently. Okay, can move this up and down. So I could just click this and push it down a bit, like so, because alright, so my software is kind of misbehaving because of all of this, but it's fine. Let's just continue. Alright, let's continue. So we have this now. I'm going to model this part, which is this, right? Alt W. Okay, I think that is good. I might move this down a bit, like this. Okay. So I'm going to model this part. So I'm going to draw a cylinder like this. So zoom this in a bit. Yeah, I think it's clean enough. I will push this up, then come to top viewport, move this into perspective, bring this up, put it up, then hit my, now take note of this. I think I should go to my two-way view. You will appreciate this better. Good. I want this cylinder to be the exact height and the width of this, right? So what I will do is I would resize from here and watch it update here. So watch now. I would drag this in. Don't forget, I want to resize this on the 3-axis. So I'll pull this in a bit, pull this in, hit my W, push it in, right? R, pull this in until I have where I want my W, push it in, I think I can just go with this. All right, go with this now. So go to my, yeah, I think I'm good. Go back to my front view here, and next thing I'll do is right click, go to my vertex. Soft selection is on, so put that off by hitting B. Drag it up like so. Drag this down. I think it's too much. I can just okay, object selection, R, maybe do that a bit. Okay, manageable. So move that in place, drag it down, go to my vertex mode, drag this up a bit, and yeah. So we're having something like this now. Okay, we're having something like this. So the next thing I will do is, all right, so now we're having this. So let's go into this view, let's see. So next thing we're going to do is to model this. Okay, we are on the right track. So let's begin from the top. If we hide this, we're going to be seeing something like a torus. There's something that looks like a cylinder there, right? So to hide this H, let's confirm. You can see. So whenever you see something gray like this, it means it's hidden. So when you want to backclick it, hit your H. So I'll take this off. So I'm going to draw a torus here. Now this is where understanding your viewport comes into play. I'm going to draw my torus here in my, now this is, all right, let me zoom this in so that you could appreciate this better. Okay, so I'm going to draw my torus right on this point. Now we have this is the top of the torus. Okay, like this is the top of the top of a cylinder. Now we have snaps here. We have snap to grid, snap to curves, snap to point, snap to projected. I'm going to do snap to point because I want to draw from this point. Or let's go to our now let me show you something briefly. Let me teach you something. Okay, so now looking at this carefully, let's go to our vertex. Now these are all points. This is a point, this is a vertex, 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 vertex. So when you see snap to point in Maya, we are saying snap to vertex. So I want my torus to begin from this point, which is the middle, so to snap from here and then snap to these edges. Okay, so I'll go back to my object mode. I'll click my torus. I could click this, but I would love to use the shortcut V so that I could be drawing snappy to point and take my hand off. So watch what will happen here, right? So I will hold my V, don't forget, hold my V, start drawing, just snaps, and then you can see it has snapped already, right? It has snapped to the edges of the cylinder. I take my hand from V, then draw out like so. I just want it to be a bit like so. Okay, so now I have this. Let me come here and let me hide this. I'm trying to mimic this here. Okay, I'll hide that. And next thing I will do, come to this view. Of course, we have something like that on this base. I'm going to duplicate this. All right, hold my sheet, clone, drag that down, drag that down, then move it down in place. Of course, hold my sheet and drag this down in like so. As you can see, this is bigger, so I would move back to my two-way view, right? Yeah, two-way view. I would go there, and now I'm going to keep expanding until this meets the width of the base. So I'll hit my R, right, and drag this. I think that should do for me. So this is what I'm having now. The next thing is to mimic this top. So I could say that, okay, I'll click this. First of all, let me hide this. Let me bring out my outliner. Let me hide this, which is this here, right? I would, let's say, move this up a bit, go to my vertex mode, highlight it, W, and drag this up a bit. More like, so that when I unhide this, I'm going to be having something like this, right? Then there'll be a cylinder at the top there, if that makes sense. So I'll take this off. I will go to my top view, right? This is my top view now. I'm having the torus, I'm having, yeah, this is the cylinder there. So I'm selecting cylinder, I'm going to draw a cylinder on the top, right? So let's see. What I'll do, I'll click, get a cylinder, hold my V as usual, snaps, it just snapped to the top there, right? And then I'll drag this up a bit. Okay, so get back to my front view, and that's what we have now. That's what I have, and I might just, okay, let's see, I might just increase the size of this a bit. Now let's say it's very important that you try to monitor what you're modeling and all the viewports, because this will help you in the long run. So coming here, let me click this and this. Okay, so if I hide this, for example, I'm trying to mimic this top here, right? Hide this too, so you now get the idea. So we are having something like this. So the next thing I will do is to model this base, right? I'll bring a cylinder there, so I'll just duplicate this, hold shift, and bring this down like so. I'll zoom in. Okay, this is not, okay, that is my problem. I'll bring this on the floor, which is there. First thing I want to be sure of is the fact that I will love this. Now, a shortcut you need to know is that Ctrl+1 isolates, right? It's Ctrl+1 isolate. So I'll go to my vertex mode, which is for this. I'll highlight the top there and drag this down. So I have to stop there, isolate this to be sure. Okay, so the next thing I will do is, don't worry, we're going to sort a lot of things here. I'm going to highlight all, hit my R, don't forget I'm in my vertex mode, hit my R, and I will drag this out like this, right? Okay, drag this out like this, hit W and push them down in. Okay, so we're getting closer, right? Let me go back to my, okay, some things are not cleaned up here. I will move this down in, move it in like so, move this in like so, move this in again. Okay, I think it's an error there. Move this in, move this into. So next thing I'll do is to create some kind of curves there. So I'll go to my insert edges. So to insert edges, you can go to mesh tools, insert edge loop, and you can just click randomly, right? So clicking randomly, I'll go back to my object mode, hit my W, then go back to edges, double click this. Okay, go back to okay, let's go back to object mode first. I'd love us to do some things as usual. The idea is that if I'm modeling in my perspective, I want to see how it is updating in some of the viewports. Okay, so I would go to my edges, double click this. I would hit my arm. I would love to take this in a bit, like inside, like so. I would skip this one, double click this, take this in like so, skip this, double click this, take this in like, sorry, oh, that's a mistake. Skip this, double click this rather, take this in like so. Now we are having something that looks, okay, hit my W like this. Then for this point, I'm going to hit my 3, okay, to give me, you know, that base like so. So go back to my 1. Of course, 3 makes it round. 2 gives you, you know, an option to add more, insert edges and do some editing. But let's leave it at 1. I would go to my vertex. Okay, I would love to drag this in again. Okay, vertex, highlight all of this and push it in, so that if I go back to my object mode and I hit a 3, I'll be having something like this. I'll push this up a bit again here. I think that's neat enough. So object mode, that's what we have now. Wow. Okay, this is what we have now. So I think at this point I'm done with the tower. So I'm going to group them. Okay, so I'll just click this, hold my Alt, click, 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 click. Bring back my outliner, hit Ctrl G. Okay, call this pillar. Now take note that I didn't use the combine. Very important. I did not use a combine. So I will go back there, hit my pillar. You can see there's a difference between the group and the normal layers. W. And just click this, and now when you group object, right, when you click them individually like this, or when you click them on your viewport, you're going to be highlighting the individual layers in the group. But when you click the group, you highlight all. So I'm having an issue when my viewport is off. So when you're having an issue like this and you want to centralize the viewport or your pivot, so to say, you could come to, I think there should be to your modify, then center viewport to be centralized. Then I can move this down until it's directly extending on top like so. So I don't think I need this anymore for now. So I'm having something like this. You can hide it, so you can see. I think I'm okay. I'm okay with this, unless I want to maybe, you know, go to my vertex mode, highlight this and push it up like this. But anyway, I have this now. So take off my outliner. Don't use group, right? Don't use combine, sorry, use group. So at this point, the next thing we're going to do is to duplicate this round, right? Good. So I will go back to my 4-way view, and what I will do next is, let's be okay with where this is. So I would move this like so, because we're going to be duplicating them. Move this down like so, and okay. Now look at how this works, right? If you look at this pillar, let's see this pillar, right? Or this reference image, this pillar, or these 10 pillars, right? Rather, they are duplicated round, let's say in circular form, around this pivot point. Okay, so that means I will want my pivot point to be at this point of vertex. Does that make sense? Yeah, so that when I'm going to be duplicating, it's going to be round. So to move this here in Maya, when you hit your D, you can move your pivot point. Sorry, let's do something there. Okay, hit my pillar. In Maya, when you hit your D, you can move this about to anywhere. Now I'm moving my pivot point, right? But I'm going to hit my V2 so that it will snap to this pivot point, to this vertex. So right now, watch. Whenever I hit my pillar, the pivot point is there. So to duplicate this rightly, we're going to use edit, duplicate spatial, right? Duplicate spatial. Now this is the magic. First of all, we're going to use instance. Very important. Instance, maybe world for now, world. And this is the math, right? We want to duplicate this. We want to have 10 of this. If we're having 10 of this, that means it's going to be addition of 9. So that means we need 9 more copies of this. So I need 10 in total. I need 9 more copies. So that's why I put in 9 here. Secondly, I wanted that whenever I edit something on this particular pillar, it updates everywhere. And thirdly, why are we using 36 degree here? Now look at the maths. You are rotating around a pivot point, right? More like a circle. Angles, sum of angle in a circle from basic mathematics is 360, right? It's 360. So I need 10. I'm going to do 360 divided by 10, which will give me 36. That means it will be separated by, let's say, 36 degrees from each other. So I'm going to be having this now, 36, make sure it's correct here, and let's apply. Okay, good. So close. Let's see what we've got thus far. So right now I have this. Okay, does that make sense? Right now I have this beautiful duplicates. All right, so we're having this right now. So next thing we're going to do is to make this here. All right. So I'm going to draw this probably with my cylinder. Two things are coming to my mind. I could decide to snap it to the top as we did before. Hold my V, and it's not necessary anyways, but let's see, it should be at the top there, something like that. So we're going to balance that here. I'm going to move this. I think this two viewport will be very important now. Yeah, go to my vertex mode. I will drag this in, drag this out a bit. I will do the same here to balance it. Drag it here. Next in the height. Maybe this should be okay. All right. And then the next thing I might be concerned about is, I think I would love this to move forward a bit, like, get the idea. I would love this to be kind of long, to go forward a bit. So I could do this from here, and I could do it from here too, depending on what I want. Fine. So now the next thing I would love to do is, I think I'm good to go, because I want this to be facing, look how the lines are running. But coincidentally, this is on one of the edges there. So maybe this is cool. So I think we could go straight to duplicate now, right? Now, because we're going to be making it an instance, that means we could still edit all of them together. So you must not get it right before duplicating. See what I mean? Okay, do that here. Go back to my object mode, object mode. Now, as usual, I would love to duplicate this across board. Like it goes across, right? Like how we made this. So I'm going to move my anchor point in the middle there. So I'll hold my D and V and move this there. It snaps. And like before, we're going to be using the duplicate special to duplicate it across board, right? We're going to use the duplicate special to duplicate it across board. So I will go to my edit, duplicate special. All right, but before then, let's check something briefly. Let's look at the image. If you observe, let me use which, and let's use this, right? If you observe, the top there goes off a bit, right? It goes off the pillar. So if you look at what we are building here, okay, I think the space is okay. I think that is okay. I think that is fine. Yeah, I think that is fine. If not, we could have just, I think probably that'll be from this port. If I drag that out, yeah, drag that out, that could solve the problem. Okay, and then object mode, of course we need to be here. Make sure this is selected. Come here, edit, duplicate spatial. So let's do some maths here. All right, this is where we're going to do some mathematics. Now I want to duplicate this round, right? Like before, sum of angle in a circle is 360 degrees. Now the question is, what should be the separation from each other and how many pieces should go around? Okay, so I did my mathematics and I said, okay, 360 divided by 12 will give me about 30 pieces. All right, so I want to separate each other using 12 degree. All right, so based on that, I'll put in 31 here, put in 12 degrees here. Now, I'll make sure it is instant because I might have to re-edit the square, all right, or the cylinder to look exactly like what I want. Okay, so I'm going to do this, instance, world, and what else do I need to do? I think that should be all. I'll click apply. I think this is beautiful enough. Then the tweaking comes in here. I'll close this. I'll move this into place. I'll go into the sub-object point. I need to be careful here, quite careful. Okay. Sub-object level vertex. Did I get it? Sub-object level vertex. I will click this. Now watch. When I move this, I'm moving the right side of the vertex, right? The right side is affecting all of them. Watch. Does that make sense? So I have that there. Now click this and move it a bit here. You now get the idea, right? And that is there. I can even move this a bit. If I want, move this a bit. And I can play around with everything there. So I think I'm okay with what I have. Then let's check our perspective viewport and boom, we have something like so. Go into my object mode and that is that for that. Alright, so let's move on. I will go to my top front view. I'm going to do this top, right? So let's zoom in. This is more like a cylinder. And okay, so I'm going to just duplicate this guy here. Okay, hold my shift, move him up. Of course, he has to be smaller. So I'll come here, hit my my arrow and duplicate in until I have what I want. Look at this carefully. W. Look at, it's a bit outside. It's a bit wider than what we have here. So let's make sure we have that R. Maybe I should put my two-way view, but this is emphasis is on this point, so I could just keep. Okay, so let's see what we have now. So something like this, right? Then what we could do is to come here, go to my vertex mode. I'll highlight just the top vertex W and move it up a bit, like so. Okay, so this is what I have now, right? So the next thing is I'm going to duplicate this again, move it up like this. I will repeat the same thing. R, drag this in until I have something like this. So let's move on. So I might just add up this like so. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do some, I think at this point I'll need my top view here, my top viewport here, then hit my 4. So I'm going to, like we did for the base, doing the same thing here. I would duplicate this, right? Then hit my R and take in a bit, W, or duplicate this, hit my R, bring this in. I think that's enough. If I want, I think that's enough. Or let's just add one more. Duplicate this, hit my R, and get that in a bit. So let's go straight to the perspective viewport, hit my 5, and yeah, we're having something like this now. So let's move on. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to model the top. So to model the top, right, I will draw something like this here, my W, and take it up. Of course, make it small. Or instead of that, let's do it this way. Okay, we'll just go to a top view, go to a top viewport, hit a 4. As usual, hit my get that there. I think that should be what shape again? Okay, sphere. Hold my V and drag that from the top like so. Then let's see what we've got. Okay, at least we have a reference point. Get to my perspective viewport, hit my 5, and see that in. So I could just reduce this a bit. Maybe drag this in. Pay cognizance to the top. Right? R again. Or let me see what I'm getting from here. H. Okay, so I think I'm still in line. W, push this down a bit like so. I think this is cool. I'll go to my object mode faces, highlight all of this and hit delete. We get the idea. W, go back to objects, push this down in. Okay, so something like this. So if you curve this up, you see that we're having quite almost what we had in the reference image. So we're still going to do some detailing on this. Right, so let's move on. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is that let's see, look at this image here. There's some detailing here, more like an extrusion. But for me, I'm going to just do a few. So I'll just do few and you can complete the rest. So I'm going to click, go to my edges. Now watch this carefully. This is a straight line, right? Another line here. So I'm going to click this, double click that there. This line goes through. I'll click, hold my shift still to keep selecting, double click. Alright, so I think if you look at this carefully, this line and this line divides just fine into two. So I'll hold my shift still, click this, double click. Click this, double click. So what next? Okay, maybe I might just add this, double click, goes through. Click this, double click. I'll add one more, maybe this one here. So click this, double click. Sorry, maybe click this to double click. So I'm going to be having this now. So at this point I'm going to be clicking bevel. We have the bevel here, and it's also somewhere here. So I'll just hit the bevel. I think I hit the extrude, that was a mistake. So hit the bevel. I will reduce the fraction a bit, reduce it until like so. Let's see. Okay, I think maybe this is manageable. Alright, so the next thing is that I will go into the face mode. I will click this, double click this, click this, double click this, holding my shift. It might work, but sorry, it's what it's sorry. Okay, and double click. Okay, move on. Click, double click, click, double click, click, double click, click, double click. I think that's all right. So at this point, I'm going to hit the extrude. Alright, so we are going to apply the extrude now. So let's click the extrude. Then bring this down a bit. I think I will just drag this up like so. So let's see what we've got now. Alright, after applying the extrude, maybe we should apply the bevel. Okay, it's getting closer. We can increase the fraction like this, add some segments, increase the fraction, add some segments, and let's see what we've got now. So we go to object mode, and voila, finally. So I think we've been able to design this tomb from start to finish. You can see it is very much precise from the base up there, and so on and so forth. Alright, so this is what we have now. So next thing I will do is to click all of this and group if I can. Okay, and give it a name, call it tomb. Okay, so I'll click this and let's apply some materials. And before we continue this, let's make sure that it is above the grid line. Okay. Right, so I think it's cool. So let's just come here, make sure it's selected, tomb, right click, go to assign new material. Let's use the AI standard surface. Let's find a preset that we could use. Let me use clay. I think that's the closest. Diamond, foam, frosted glass. Okay, I think the clay will work better. Replace. Let's choose something close to maybe let's see. Okay, I think something like this. Yeah, I think I would love to use something like this. Okay, I think I'm good. Let me render. Okay, I've not added the lights, so I'll come to my anode, lights. Before then, let me add a plane. Okay, so I'm going to draw a plane here. So click here, draw a plane, and hit my R, make it big enough. Okay, good. We'll also texture the plane, assign new material, okay, let's assign new material, and let's use AI standard surface steel, and let's use clay, but in this case I'm going to use something close to ash. Okay, this might be fine. So let's zoom in like so. Let's add our lights too. Alright. I think at this point I don't need this. Let's add our light, anode, lights, sky dome lights. And from there we're going to make this way big so that we could. Okay, so let's render and see what we've made. Wow. Okay. Let's make this quite. Let's render now. Alright, so this is what we've been able to make. You give it some time to render before we save it. Alright, so mine is done rendering. I'll go to File, Save Image. I would save it in my desktop in Maya. I will say training export. Click save. So go there, find training export, and this is what we made. Okay, so what we made, I could edit probably if I want, and maybe crop this. I could have done it for Maya though, but that would involve me going to the anode settings. We would do that in the next video, so I would save as, I call this training export to. Click save, and so we have this. Alright, so I think this was worth it. This is the first practical. If you were able to follow me from the beginning to the end, alright, and you did it the right way, because it's one thing to learn something, it's one thing to learn the right way. If you did everything I taught you the right way, then I think you're on the road to hitting it and making it great in 3D modeling and animation. Alright, so see you in the next creative series of this course. Thank you. Bye.